This is One Broke Gamer Girl, and this is my review of The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit for the PlayStation 4. First shown at E3 this year, and then announced that it would be free to play, I was interested in this game because it was coming from Don't Nod. This is the same studio that created Life is Strange, so of course I was immediately interested. Hearing that it was free also didn't hurt. After downloading it and finally finding the time to play it, it's time for a review. In The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, you play as Chris. Chris has just recently lost his mother and has created this persona of Captain Spirit to deal with her death, along with the problems that he's been having with his father Charles. As Chris, he's this heartbroken boy who lost his mother and has a father that has basically turned into a shell of his former self, but as Captain Spirit, he can do anything. Set in the same Life is Strange universe, this takes place after the original game and basically leads into what will become Life is Strange 2. Although announced as a standalone game in the Life is Strange universe, this is obviously a demo for Life is Strange 2 and the engine it will be running on. This didn't play like a standalone game, although if you do everything the demo has to offer, it could take well over 2 hours to complete. There's nothing wrong with that because it told the backstory of who I'm thinking is going to be the main character in Life is Strange 2, which is Chris. This leads me to believe that Life is Strange 2 will take place in the future since I really can't see continuing to play as Chris at the same age he's at. While the game was fun, it was pretty neat to go back and act like a kid again, even if it was inside of a video game. There was also a bunch of cool stuff that you could do and take on this superhero persona that Chris has created. There was also an intense story as the underlying factor of this demo as well, and it was the death of Chris's mother. There's a lot of tension between Chris and Charles, and it leads to a cliffhanger ending for this very fun and emotional demo. That being said, there are still some bugs and glitches that need to be worked out before the release of Life is Strange 2, and I hope that this demo can clear that up. While the game ran smoothly and basically the same as Life is Strange, there were problems with the instructions of the game. Now, I usually ignore the instructions and I learn as I play, but when you have to know how to do something in order to play the game, it's important that the player knows this from the beginning, like using Chris's superhero power. I didn't learn how to use this until 30 to 45 minutes into the game, because there wasn't a prompt at the beginning that said press this button to use Captain Spirit's power. There were other prompts, though, that made no sense, like pressing the R1 to toggle on and off answering outside conversations. This button didn't work at all, and after the game prompted you to do this, the prompt wouldn't go away, and I think it held up the game a lot because it was glitched. This kind of ruined the experience for me just a little bit, but knowing that this was a demo, I'm kind of hoping that it gets cleared up in Life is Strange 2. The graphics for this game looked similar to Life is Strange, but they also looked improved. I felt like the facial animations looked less cartoonish than they did in Life is Strange, and the people in the game started to look like actual people. It was a nice switch from the first game, and I hope that the graphics continue to improve before the release of Life is Strange 2. There were no trophies for this game as it was only a demo, and there was also no multiplayer for this game, which is to be expected. Overall, I give this demo a 3.5 out of 5. Here's what's great about it. This demo makes you feel like a kid again, as you get to play around and do kid things that you don't do as an adult, like play dress up and pretend to be a superhero. Even though this is just a demo, it still has a huge underlying story to it about a boy who loses his mother and how he's trying to deal with that, along with deal with the fact that his father isn't the man who he used to be. Also, there are plenty of throwbacks to the original Life is Strange to keep fans of the series happy. Here's what's not so great. This was just a demo and not the standalone game that was promised. It was a long demo, sure, but not what one would consider to be a standalone game. Also, there were some glitches in the overall instructions of how to play the game, and because of that, it ruined the experience just a little bit. I really enjoyed playing this demo and can't wait to finish playing Chris's story in Life is Strange 2, especially with the cliffhanger ending that you're left with. That being said, I would say that if you're a fan of Life is Strange and you want to play this demo, especially if you plan on playing Life is Strange 2, even if you're new to the series, I think that you can really pick up this demo and experience the Life is Strange universe and maybe get into the first Life is Strange before playing the second. Either way, it's a fun 2 hours that you won't regret playing.